Hi, I'm Andrew from Qubit, here with Analog Zone at NAMM 2018. We have three really exciting new modules to show you. First up is the Nebulae V2, much anticipated. So we've added a whole lot of features. We have live audio input now, which was our single most requested feature from users, stereo inputs and outputs, substantially improved audio fidelity, and we revamped the entire granular section. We've added overlap with the grains and a new window function, which is really fun. So let's hear what it sounds like. Have the classic amen brake running right now. Along the top, we have our start and size controls. Independent pitch and speed. As the left LED becomes illuminated, the sample's playing in reverse. Bring it back. These are both encoders, so whenever you want to get back to your nominal speed or pitch setting, you just click the encoder. Goes back to the normal speed. You click it again, it'll go backwards at the same speed, and then it'll toggle back and forth. Underneath that, we have our pitch control. The pitch goes 2 octaves higher and 3 octaves below the original recording of the file. And then to get back to your nominal pitch, you press the encoder. In addition, there's volt per octave tracking across the entire range, 5 octaves. Beneath that, we have our pulse output, which is a gate signal that's emitted at the end of each loop. So you'll notice once it wraps around, every time reset illuminates, a gate spits out of here. Really useful for syncing other elements to your nebulae, keeping everything in time in your patch. The speed control can go 4 times as fast, forwards and reverse, which is really useful, pretty wide range. Below that, we have our granular section, which is a whole entirely new beast than it was on the original Nebulae. The blend separates the dry and granular sections. Right now we're hearing our granular audio stream. So overlap is all the way up, our grains are overlapping. Slow this down, you'll be able to hear it. Density is controlling how close the grains are together. And how large the grains actually are controlled with overlap. The window controller we've added switches between 4 window types. All the classic granular window shapes are there, Hanning, Gaussian, and a few unique ones that we made up ourselves. So if you listen, you'll hear the timbre really changing in relation to the window shape. So this is controlling the envelope that's applied to each grain as it moves through the audio file. All these controls have full CV control for all of them. Along the bottom, we have our manual button presses. So next, just skip through the files on your flash drive. The source button switches between your live inputs and your sample playback. Right now there's nothing in our recorded buffer, so it's just silence. Reset sets the playback position to the current start point. So as you move the start point, reset's going to reset to a different position. Next to that we have the freeze, which is going to lock into place the current audio and resynthesize it using a high-quality FFT. So the beauty of it is that not only is it playing back the audio that you currently have, it's actually keeping the same timbre and pitch, which is really useful. From there, we can switch to our live input mode and record some audio. When you hit source, you go to your live input. Bring blend up, we'll hear the incoming signal. Currently have a chord patch coming in. Once we hit record, it's going to start recording into our buffer. When we hit record again, it's going to stop and start looping that buffer. Maximum amount of 5 minutes for the buffer for stereo audio, so an incredibly long buffer time. So now we have our buffer filled. All the controls still work as they did before. Manual controls work as expected. And then you can always access your original pitch and speed of when you recorded by pressing the encoders, which is really useful for if you want to keep things in tune with the rest of your patch, or keep them at the same time that you originally had when you recorded. If you want to switch back and forth between the file playback from the USB flash drive or the recorded buffer, hit source, there's no latency. It's a very fast switch. And record can be toggled on and off with a gate signal as well. So that is the primary functionality of the Nebulae. We're also going to be firmly supporting the alternate firmware functionality that we had on the original one, but in a significantly expanded and really much more versatile and easy to use way. We're going to support pure data, C sound, and super collider files, in addition to bare bones C programs if you choose to go that route. Instead of the template situation that we had originally, we're going to create basically a small bootloader that makes it really simple for people to just get up and running and write their own code without having to worry about the nuts and bolts of connecting all the voltage to the code. And we're going to be creating a lot of tutorials for that to make it simpler as well. So the Nebula will be out early March. MSRP is going to be $429, same as the original one. So you get a lot more bang for your buck.